So today, two small concepts we are going to understand. One is called as opaque view and second is called as alias. These two small concepts we'll try to understand about it. Okay. First one is opaque view. First one is opaque view. A SQL query or select statement is called as what? Opaque view. A SQL query or select statement is called as opaque view. So let us say till today, if I say in the physical layer table means only one process, that is we have to import from the database. That's it. The database already table is available. We have to import that one. That is the only process we know it. We don't know how to create the physical table within the physical layer itself, even though that is not available in the database. For example, I am going to the administration tool now. Let us say admin tool. Then we are trying to open online mode. Then admin 123. Admin 123. Now, if you go and try to see here our database, this is what ours, I think, right? Okay, this is some other batch people did experiment on your things. Let me delete those guys' work. This is not related to your batch, right? Okay, and that corresponding one is this is the one. I am deleting it. Check in changes, click on S. Right. Now, yesterday we learned here usage tracking we learned. Usage tracking we learned, that work also we are able to see here. Now, if you go and try to see, right click on the schema, then new physical table, then we are trying to give some name, let us say test. And here I have the option to create this one using what? Some select statement. I can go and I can write here some select statement and I can create it. For example, I am writing here select YEAR here, then from D1 underscore calendar 2. D1 underscore calendar 2. How many columns are going to get output for this? Only one column. That many columns you have to create here. So one column, so I am creating here one column. And whatever column we are going to get it, what is the data type of that one? Some number or double I can give it, whatever you want it. So it is some data type, whatever it is fit for this, that we are going to select here. For example, integer I am selecting. Then OK. Then OK. Now we got here one glasses symbol. The glasses symbol, whatever we got it, that is a table. Physical table only. What table it is? It is a physical table, but this physical table made of what? One SQL query. The physical table created by taking help of one SQL query. This whatever we are seeing the test. Is it available physically in the database? No. But whereas D1 order 2, is it available physically in the database? Yes. That is the difference between this table and this table. This is directly coming from the database. This is coming from what? One SQL query is available. That SQL query result is making this table. Okay, this is directly coming from the database. Excellent. Now we understand it. Is it really working or not? To understand that working or not, what I will do is I am trying to right click on the test, then view data, I'm happily able to see the data. That means it is working or not? It is working. Okay, now I'm able to justify or I'm able to understand what is the meaning of first point. A SQL query or select statement is called as opaque view. Opaque view. But what the second point is suggesting, if you need a new table, then go for what? Physical table. Physical table means from the database itself, try to take it. Or you take what? Materialized view. What is materialized view? And what is the difference between view and materialized view? We have two concepts, right? View versus materialized view. What is the view and what is materialized view? What is that? Okay. Both are end of the day created using SQL queries only. But view has no physical memory, whereas materialized view has some physical memory. In the view, let us say 2 pages of SQL query is available. Out of that view, I want one column. Then first the 2 pages of SQL query will be running. On top of it, one more subquery will be created to get whatever column we are looking for. These all things will happen in the runtime. In case of materialized view, already these 2 pages of the SQL query ran and the data is stored, result is stored physically. Whenever you want one column, directly already result is available, right? From that result we will take it. That is the reason materialized view performance wise very good. Materialized view performance wise very good. And this materialized views in the night time business off hours, we are going to make the refresh. That's 2 pages of SQL query I said, right? The 2 pages of SQL query business whenever off hours are available, we'll try to schedule that one so that the 2 pages of the SQL query will be running and the result will be storing physically in the database. Right. Now, I think more about this one, you go and try to refer any one database book, what is view, what is materialized view, you come to understand. So what it is a suggestion is now, if we want one new table in the physical layer, we have to go for physical table or materialized view. In worst situation, go for what? Opaque view. There is no other ways you are finding. There is no other ways you are finding. Then only go for the opaque view. Why we are saying like that is, opaque view inside what is available? One SQL query. Whenever I take some column from the opaque view, it has to run that entire SQL query, then it has to give the result. That is time consuming process. Performance wise it is very bad. That is the reason we are not recommending opaque view. If a table or materialized view means what? Already data physically stored, that is the reason we can get the data quickly. If you want to call functions in RPD, then go for what? Opaque view. If you want to call functions in RPD, then go for opaque view. What is the function? For example, we know how to create the functions. So we are trying to create a replace function total salary. This is what the some function is available. It is all doing is calculating the total salary by taking the salary and commission as inputs. If I want to call this function in the physical layer, what is our requirement? Database function I want to call in the physical layer. Then I cannot do any other way. I cannot import the function directly. I don't have the option. Whenever we are importing this one, we have the tables, keys, foreign keys, system tables, synonyms like that we have it. Do you have the functions option over there? No. If I want function means, then what I are going to do? This is the way. Right, that is the one worst situation what we have it. Second worst situation, any metadata if you need dynamic, then use what? Opaque view. Then use what? Then go for what? Opaque view. Any metadata if you need dynamic, then use opaque view. Suppose here, what is this? Table name, right? But today at this point of time, I am not sure table name. I am not sure table name. Table name itself I want dynamic. Table name itself I want dynamic. Is it possible? Today it may be D1 underscore orders 2017 year. Tomorrow it may be D1 underscore orders 2018 year. Day after tomorrow it may be D1 underscore orders 2019 year, for example. So your table name is dynamic or not? If table name is dynamic, then how we are going to handle? Inside this opaque view means here I can go and I can call the here I can go and I can call the here I can go and I can call the what is this? Variable I can call it, repository variable I can call it. Suppose the repository variable name is okay, table name I can call like this. In that table name may be calculation purpose, you may have some other logic. We know how to write the SQL queries, right? The SQL query return and we got the table name value from there. That we are trying to pass here. Okay, so if you want, you can go on, you can see some examples. Pass variables in opaque view. Pass variables in opaque view. So see here, what is this? This is the opaque view only, right? Select statement. What we are writing here? Value of nq underscore session dot my year. It is a session variable. It is a session variable. That means we have the provision to call the variable inside the opaque view. Yes or no? We have the provision. We have the option to call the variable inside the opaque view. It may be session variable or it may be repository variable. Doesn't matter. Now, what I want to say is now overall, if you want to call, okay, that's done. If you want to call, the table name itself is dynamic. The table name itself is dynamic. In the runtime, it is going to decide it. Then we have to go for, you have to go for opaque view. That is the second situation. Now, anyone in interview, they ask it, hey, tell me one or two scenarios when exactly I have to go for the opaque view. You can say best example is, first best example is, if you have the database functions in the database, I want to call the database functions in the physical layer, then you have to go for opaque view. Second best example is what? Table name is dynamic, or the where clauses in the physical layer itself I want to maintain dynamic. Where clause only they maintain dynamic, right? If you want to maintain dynamic, then you have to go for opaque view. Directly inside the column name I cannot pass the variable, but I can write the SQL query, I can pass the variable. Right. Now, opaque views are not supported by non-relational databases, example MS Excel, XML, SBase, etc. Opaque view means what? SQL query. MS Excel will not support the SQL queries. XML will not support the SQL queries. Simply SQL language don't know by any database, then that I cannot use here. Okay, some database are available, they don't know what is SQL language, then I cannot use this concept. Okay, now we have here how to create the opaque view. We have it, how to create the opaque view. So simply we are writing here one SQL query, we are writing it, select year from D1 calendar 2. It need not be that much of simple. You can write how much big SQL query you want it, that much of big SQL query you can write it. For example, I am going for select year, comma, sum of ACTL, EXTND. Okay, even I am writing here month code. Okay, then from, and this alias name I am providing as dollars is the alias name I am providing. Then from the table called as D1 underscore calendar 2 comma D1 underscore orders to where d1 underscore calendar 2 is equal sorry y dd is equal to what is that d1 underscore orders 2 dot period key underscore is there, underscore is not there. I think it's not there. Next, group by now what is that year then month code. Now we got the SQL query, we have it. Just for our understanding, is it executing or not? Just if you want to test it, you can go and you can copy and paste here and you can test it. As I have the confidence, it will run, no problem. What is this one? Month code, right? I want to create here one more column called as month code. What is the data type? Integer, let us say. Then okay. What is the next one? Dollars. The data type is, let us say, double. Then okay. Then okay. Now it is working or not to validate. Right click on this test, view the data. We are able to see the data. Suppose this test whatever available, I am trying to drag and drop. I'm creating one separate business model. I am creating it, Opaque. There even I am trying to make here month code whatever available, it is a primary key I am making. How to make that one? Test keys, then use some name, and whatever we have the month code, that is a primary key I am making. The test I am trying to drag and drop. This test whatever available, I am trying to duplicate it. Even I am creating here one join between them. Then okay, then close. Then we are trying to take into this layer. Check-in change as, click on S. Click on S. Close. Now you people understand here, even this table you don't want it, just for join purpose only we taken that one. Now if you go to the front end browser, then analytics portal, then sign in. Now go and try to see here new, then analysis, then we have here opaque view, then test. What do we have here? Year column, month code column, dollars. For example, I am taking here only year column and I am clicking on the result, I got it. But how the SQL query will be written back end? How it is written back end, you know? What is the query we have already inside this one? This, right? First system what will do is first execute the system this total. On top of it, it is right here. What you want on top of it? You want only the year you want it. So select year from this, it will execute. Though I don't want year month code and dollars, still it is going for joining, it is executing, and summing it is doing, but it is not required for me. Only I want what? Year. This equivalent query I can go and I can write here. What is the equivalent query of that one? Select simply year from d1 underscore calendar 2. Instead of this query execution, we are writing here this much of big query, we are writing it. So unnecessarily join, unnecessarily aggregation, unnecessarily extra column, these all things is time taking process or not. That is the reason we are saying opaque user performance wise very bad. As it is bad, we should not use it. If there is no other option, then only you have to use it. When there is no other option means the worst situations I said, if you want to call the functions or if you want to make the any metadata dynamic, then you have to go for it. That's what the reasons. That's it. Right. Is it this kind of query only creating or not to confirm? Let us go and try to see here. What is this? Administration. then go for here manage sessions, then go for here opposite to our report name, we have here view log. If I click on this view log, there you can observe here what we are seeing. Select the distinct here from this total query whatever I written, right? The total query whatever I written. So that's what it is a problem we are seeing it. That's why it is a problem we are seeing it. Okay, excellent. Now we understand what is the meaning of how to create the opaque view. How to create the opaque view, you understand. How to use that opaque view in the report also, we understand it. Next point is we have here second point, step 2. What is this? Deploying the view. Just try to read this one. What is this? What is that? Without deploying view into database, if you use opaque view in reports, then Oracle based server needs to create what? Complex queries. To avoid complex queries, Oracle recommended to deploy each and every opaque view into a database. What you mean by deploying the view is, for example, now I am going here, I am the supplier to schema. Let us say I am writing here select star from TAB. Now we are seeing here some tables and tab type is equal to, we have here all are what? Tables. Do I have tab type is equal to, I am writing here view, then run it. Now what we have, do we have any views? Where is not there? Okay, good. Where tab type is equal to view. Now do we have any views? No. Let me go and try to deploy it. What is the meaning of deploy? You come to understand. Let us say right click on this test. There is an option is available. What is this? Deploy the views. If I click on the deploy the views, it is asking please save all the changes before deploy or undeploy the views. Okay, we are saving it. Now we are right clicking, then deploy views. What is saying? View deployment, deploy views. The following views will be deployed. All view names must be alphanumeric and not more than 18 characters, but we given only 4 characters. So click on what? Okay. Now it's showing here Oracle BI administration tool, view deployment message, view successfully deployed. The database called as this is the database, schema called as this is a schema, and test. If you go and try to observe here, let us say same query I am executing it. Now what you are seeing? Now what do you mean by deploying the view? Creating view inside the database is called as deploying the view. That's it. What do you mean by deploying the view? Create view inside the database is called as deploying view. Everything is virtual means something difficult. Something physically reference is available, it can create the query somewhat easily. That is the reason we are doing the deployment. Are you getting my point? Everything virtual means what? In the runtime itself, on top of this SQL query, one more SQL query, on top of this SQL query, one more SQL query, I have to create it. Something physically available, then simply I can go and I can write the SQL queries, right? Okay, same thing, whatever available now previously, this query is available, right? This query is system, what it is going to write is, instead of like that, if you deploy the view, after deploying, system will write the query, what way it is going to write is, select star from, what is this? Test. So it is writing complex query or somewhat reasonable query? Somewhat reasonable query. That is the reason, as a recommendation, we have to go for deploying. We have to go for deploying. So this point, if you want to read it, you can even read from the help document. If you click on the help, then type here opaque view. Then about deploying views is available. See this one. Opaque views can be used without deploying them, but the Oracle based server has to generate what? A more complex query when an opaque view is encountered. Even this only copied and pasted in the document. Okay. So what is the you observe now both the scenarios. Without view, this is what the query. After the view, this is what the query. Somewhat simple query or not? Somewhat simple query. Okay, that's what the point what we are saying here. However, if without deploying also you can use in the report. That's what we saw. Even I developed the report and we saw the result of the year column, right? Okay, so that's what it's saying here. Without deploying view into database, if you use opaque view in reports, then Oracle based server need to create complex queries. To avoid complex queries, Oracle recommended to deploy each and every opaque view into database. Creating view in the database is called as deploying process. Go to the database, log into the supplier 2, then we did these all things we completed, right? Now next is what? Suppose we deployed it, but later we realized, okay, we don't want it. Then how we can undeploy it? Undeploying is very easy. You have to go here, we have to right click on this table, whatever we have it. And you can see the icon, anything is changed here, sir, after deploying. We got one green arrow mark towards the database symbol, right? That means what? It is deploying it. Let us say I am trying to undeploy here. Click on the undeploy the views. Then it is asking the following views will be undeployed. Do you want to continue? If I click on the S, then it is trying to undeploy here. After undeployed, if I run this query, will I get the test or will not get the test? Will not get the test. Let us run it. Now we are seeing here there is no test. Now we got the clarity. Now we got the clarity. What do you mean by undeploying the views? Next one more exercise is available. How to call the function the opaque view. Now as of now we learned what is opaque view. When we have to go for the opaque view, what is the disadvantage of the opaque view, how to deploy the opaque view, how to undeploy the opaque view. If you deploy the opaque view, backend what is happening? If undeploy the opaque view, backend what is happening? We got the clarity. Now how to call the function inside the opaque view we are going to learn about now. First point, go to the Scott schema, execute below script. We are trying to take this one, create or replace function salary, commission, return, total salary, and the function till here. Copy and paste it. Paste it. Paste it. But paste will not work. Okay. We have to go to the Scott schema then. Let me open the Scott schema. So we are in the Scott schema. Now I have to paste here, but it won't work, I think, here. So we have to type it. That is the only option what we have it. Okay. Now go and try to see here. What is this? We are trying to pass here. Create or replace a function. Passing what you are passing? Salary as a input and commission as a input. Then we are trying to return the data type as what? Number. Is. then total salary as number, begin, blah blah. Even we have here, simply if you want to write the function, there is the option is available. What is this? Functions. As of now we have no functions are available here. Right click, then what is this? New function. Then what is the function name we are expecting here? Function name is what? fun underscore total salary. Same name I am providing, fun underscore total salary. Okay, now parameters. You want any input parameters or what? You want here input parameters. So here we have the option to select here in or out or like that. What is the input parameter we want here? Salary. And one more parameter is what we want here? Commission. And what is the data type of this one? Number. And what is the data type of this one? Number. That's it. So we passed here required things. Okay, now what is the return type you want here? Number. We decide the function name and we decide the what is the return type, what is the inputs you wanted, we decided. Now simply click on here, okay. Now we got here basic syntax, we got it. Basic syntax, we got it. So if you go and try to compare here, we have the create or replace function, the function name we got, salary as input parameter, commission as input parameter, return as number. Okay, now from here we have to define it. Is total sal as number. Okay, written as a number, as we written here, something this also okay, as or is, whatever it is. Next, begin onwards you have to start it. What is that? Begin onwards you have to start it. Begin total sal colon sal plus NVL commission 100, we are writing it. Here I am passing actually one variable, I am passing it. Without variable also if you want to do it means directly write here sal plus NVL of commission comma 100, you write it, that will be written over there. But we are passing this result into where? Total salary, and that we are trying to written here. Are you getting my point? So what we have to write here? Okay, now we are trying to go for is what do you want? One variable you have to define, that variable name is equal to total sal, the data type is what? Number. Total sal, the data type is equal to number. Next, we are writing a formula, the total sal, the variable we are trying to assign here. What is the formula? Whatever we have the salary plus, we are also validating here if it is null, then we are trying to pass here, what we are passing? Commission 0 we are passing here, a sal plus NVL of commission comma 0. Then we are trying to return here, what is the return type? Return one, the variable that is called as total salary, I want to write it. So is it clear now? Any questions? Any questions? No. Let us go and try to click on here run, for example. So it is expecting here empty package definition, no public members. What is this? I think we didn't saved previously. That's what the issue. Now, for example, here salary and commission return value, everything we got it. Let's say I am trying to click on here OK. Okay. Now we are going to see the corresponding return type. We are going to see it by default 1 passed over there. Anyhow, it is working now perfectly. Now, how to call this one inside the first step is completed. What is the second step? Create opaque view in physical layer as shown below. Opaque view, select, and we are trying to call here select EMP number ename, salary, commission, comma, Scott dot the function name and whatever input parameters are available we are passing as total sal from Scott dot emp. Let us go and try to do that one. Close it. Then let us go and try to create a new physical table with the name of, we are trying to call what? Call function we are doing, right? So let me give the same name. Then we are going for select statement. Then select, for example, I want employee number, ename, salary, commission, and from the Scott schema, what is the function name? Function underscore total sal. What are the inputs we have to pass here? Salary and commission. As what this is? Total salary from the Scott.emp. From Scott.emp. If that is executed, what are the columns we are going to get it? EMP number is the one column. Then we are going to get here second one. Ename is the one column. That has a varchar. Then size is equal, let us say some 30. Then next is what? Salary. That is also one thing, one data type. Let us go for double. Then commission. That also we are trying to provide here something called as double. Then we have to go for next one, that is total salary. Then double. Then okay. Then okay. So we created now one function. Let us say save it. Now it is working or not, we can validate here. Right click on this one, then click on here view data. If everything is correct, then it is working perfectly, right? If you see here 300 plus 1600 is how much? 1600 and 300 is how much? 1900, right? The salary and commission it is adding and it is giving the result. So our function is working or not? Our function is working. I created might be a very small function. If you know the functions logic clearly, if you learn it, then you can write how much big function you want it, you can write it. That function simply we can call inside the physical layer. Okay, this is the provision what they provided to utilize the functions. Similarly, stored procedure also you can call it. If you have the stored procedure, similarly you are going to call what? Stored procedure also you can call it. Okay, now we understand here the function, how to call it. That's it. That's what I want to cover with respect to the opaque view. Now tell me, what is opaque view? A SQL query or select statement is called as opaque view. Opaque view performance wise not good. That is the reason if you really need a new table in the physical layer, give the priority to physical table or materialized view. If there is no way or there is no option, then only go for the opaque view. What are the worst situations we have is if I have database function I want to call in the physical layer, then we have to go for the opaque view. If you want to maintain the metadata dynamic, let us say table name you want to maintain dynamic, then you have to go for opaque view. Creating opaque view with site. Then second, deploying the opaque view means creating the view physically in the database is called as deploying the opaque view. Undeploying the opaque view is nothing but removing the view from the database is called as undeploying it. And we saw how to call the function inside the opaque view. We got chance to see it. That's it. Next one, that is called as alias. Any questions you have, folks? We need to.
Sir, I have one question.
Uh-huh.
In Opaque, we need to maintain any data type, like whatever data type you are having in schema table. We need to use same one. Like if use year in table, it's integer means we need to use only integer in Opaque view.
That equivalent you can use it if means their integer means here you can use the integer or float or double, this kind of things, but not opposite things like string, but
Okay.
kind of things you should not use it.
Okay. Okay. Fine.
Okay. Under number category, whatever things are falling, any one of them you can use.
Okay. Okay. Okay, sir. Fine.
Even if you go and try to observe, for example, what is the data type of we have the table that is called as our regularly using schema is what? Supplier 2, supplier 2, where is that? Not there. Hmm? Describe P1 underscore calendar 2. Now, what is the data type of the year?
Number.
There is the year data type is number. But when you imported the table, right?
Yes.
Imported the table calendar. Then if you go and try to see the year, what is the data type?
Double.
I didn't modify this one. As part of the import, automatically system recognize that as a double.
Okay. Okay, sir.
So it need not be exactly same. Okay,
Okay.
you take in that category whatever you want. Even number also available, but system taken the
Okay.
double it's taken.
Okay.
Okay, number.
If we take worker, it won't work, right?
Sorry.
If we take worker, it won't work, right?
Yeah, it won't work.
Okay. Okay. Fine.
Right. Now let us move on to the next one that is known as alias. We know half of the points about the alias. Remaining half I want to cover it. So a virtual physical table or reference of physical table is called as alias. One moment, folks. Let me disconnect and connect.